and a currywurst.
45 cents. Plastic. And the teachers, you know, they're get a little bit of money from the government and they walk around all day collecting bottles or something. Old people should be relaxed. 45 cents. Plastic. And the aluminium. 45 cents.
Ja, genau.
Kleine Fanta, danke. Für mich bitte den Ausland.
Ville, mitä vittua? Kovasti huutaa.